In this video, we are going to cover about cardiac conduction system, the anatomy of the cardiac conduction system, steps of cardiac conduction system. What is cardiac conduction system? Heart's conduction system is the network of nodes, that is, a group of cells that can be either nerve or muscle tissue, specialized cells, and electrical signals that keep heart beating. Two types of cells control heartbeat: conducting cells that carry electrical signals. Muscle cells control heart's contractions. Cardiac conduction system sends the signal to start a heartbeat. It also sends signals that tell different parts of our hearts to relax and contract, that is, to squeeze. This process of contracting and relaxing controls blood flow through heart and to the rest of the body. Now let us see the parts of the cardiac conduction system. Cardiac conduction system contains specialized cells and nodes that control heartbeat. These are the sinoatrial node, atrioventricular node, bundle of His, that is atrioventricular bundle, Purkinje fibers. SA node is sometimes called the heart's natural pacemaker. It sends the electrical impulses that start the heartbeat. The SA node is in the upper part of our heart's right atrium. It is located at the edge of our atrium near our superior vena cava, vein that brings oxygen-poor blood from our body to heart. The SA node generates electrical impulses 60 to 100 times per minute. Autonomic nervous system controls how fast or slowly SA node sends electrical signals. This part of the nervous system directs hormones that control heart rate based on what we are doing. For example, our heart rate increases during exercise and slows when we are asleep. The autonomic nervous system includes sympathetic nervous system, makes SA node work faster, which increases our heart rate. The sympathetic nervous system is having the fight or flight response. Parasympathetic nervous system is having the rest or digest response, makes SA node work slower, which decreases our heart rate. Next is AV node. AV node is located in an area known as the triangle of Coy, located between the septal leaflet of the tricuspid valve, the coronary sinus, and the membranous portion of the intra-atrial septum. This is near the central area of the heart, located in the lower aspect of the atrial septum. AV node receives electrical impulses from the SA node. If the SA node fails, the AV node can initiate and sustain a heart rate of 40 to 60 beats per minute. The atrioventricular node delays the SA node's electrical signal. It delays the signal by a consistent amount of time, a fraction of a second each time. The delay ensures that our atria are empty of blood before the contraction stops. The atria are the heart's upper chambers. They receive blood from our body and empty it into the ventricles. In order to facilitate the complete emptying of atria, the atrioventricular node delays the SA node's electrical signal. Next is bundle of His. The bundle of His is also called the atrioventricular bundle. It is a branch of fibers, nerve cells, that extends from our AV node. A continuation of the AV node is the bundle of His, located at the intraventricular septum. This fiber bundle receives the electrical signal from the AV node and carries it to the Purkinje fibers. The bundle of His runs down the length of the interventricular septum, the structure that separates the right and left ventricle. The bundle of His has two branches. Left bundle branch, which extends into the left ventricle, sends signal through the Purkinje fibers to our left ventricle. Right bundle branch, which extends down the right side of the interventricular septum, sends electrical signals through the Purkinje fibers to our right ventricle. The right and left bundle branches terminate into the Purkinje fibers. Next is Purkinje fibers. Purkinje fibers are in the subendocardial surface of the ventricle walls. The subendocardial surface is the part of the endocardium, the inner layer of the tissue that lines the heart's chambers. Purkinje fibers are a diffuse network of conducting strands located beneath the ventricular endocardium. These fibers spread the wave of depolarization through the ventricles. Purkinje fibers can act as the pacemaker with a rate between 20 and 40 beats per minute if the SA and AV nodes fail. The Purkinje fibers are branches of specialized nerve cells. They send electrical signals very quickly to right and left heart ventricles. When the Purkinje fibers deliver electrical signals to ventricles, the ventricles contract. As they contract, blood flows from our right ventricle to our pulmonary arteries and from left ventricle to aorta. The aorta is the body's largest artery. It sends blood from heart to the rest of our body. Steps of the heart's conduction pathway. Heart is a pump that sends blood through our body. For each heartbeat, electrical signals travel through the conduction pathway of our heart. It starts when our sinoatrial node creates an excitation signal. This electrical signal is like electricity traveling through wires to an appliances in our home. The electrical impulse normally begins in the SA node, the pacemaker of our heart. The SA node starts the sequence by causing the atrial muscle to contract. Impulses from the SA node travel through interatrial pathways to depolarize the atria, resulting in a contraction of atria. Next, the electrical impulse travels from the atria to the AV node, that means SA node to AV node, through internodal pathways. The AV node delaying the signal until our atria are empty of blood. Then the signal moves through the bundle of His down the right and left bundle branches, carrying the signal to the Purkinje fibers, causing the ventricles to contract. The ventricular conduction system delivers the impulse within 0.12 seconds. This triggers a synchronized right and left ventricular contraction and ejection of blood into the pulmonary and systemic circulations. Last, repolarization occurs when the contractile and conduction pathway cells regain their resting polarized condition. These steps make up one full contraction of heart muscle. Heart conduction system sends out thousands of signals per day to keep heart beating. The signal creates an electrical current that can be seen on a graph called an electrocardiograph or EKG. Doctors use an EKG to see how well the cardiac conduction system works. Any changes on the EKG can mean serious problems. How does electrical conduction perform with the rest of heart? The electrical signals that travel through our heart conduction system cause heart to expand and contract. These contractions control how blood flows through our heart. Ideally, the electrical conduction system keeps up a steady, even heart rate. It also helps heart speed up when we need more blood and oxygen or slow down when it is time to rest.